I went to the University of East Anglia, which is the hippiest university in this country. They're obsessed with environmental studies, full of hippies. Uh, they were obsessed with environmental politics. I'm going to tell you why environmental politics is an absurdity. All private companies want to minimise their running costs. That is, the factory owner will want to minimise how much fuel he consumes. They want things to be as efficient as possible. That's why James Watt invented a condenser for the steam engine, so that they only needed to use a quarter of the amount of coal. Made a big difference. Steam engines spread everywhere after that. So it was cleaner. That's a byproduct of efficiency. The point is, every private manufacturer will be able to justly point to his endeavours towards environmental cleanliness, because they are always searching for an efficient way of doing things, using less fuel, using less labour, using less transport. They could claim that they were doing it for the environment. Who could say? But if you find a way of producing the same amount of iron from a quarter of the amount of fuel, then you're helping the environment and you're helping yourself. No one could tell which is which. Environmental politics is also an absurdity because when it comes down to it, given the choice between protecting the environment and protecting people's own lives, especially in a famine-like situation, then people are going to turn against the environment. People are always going to worry about short-term things more than long-term. Because the rational thing to do is enjoy the fruits of fossil fuels. And while we're on fossil fuels, yes, they do contribute to a lot of this, and yes, lots of people would die if there was flooding caused by global warming, but you have to balance that against the billions of people who wouldn't never have been born without fossil fuels. Because fossil fuels allow areas that was previously used for growing wood for ships or for fuel or for building, all that has been converted to crops and pastoral land, which means far more food from the same amount of land. And of course, we don't need horses anymore, so that saves on lots of land too. So if we'd never used fossil fuels, our population would be about a tenth of what it is, possibly much less. So even if global warming kills 100 million people, harsh as it may sound, far more people would never have existed if we hadn't used them. And while we're on the subject of hippie myths, this idea that the most modern countries have the least forest, it's nonsense. Germany and Japan, two of the most industrialised countries in the world, have the most efficient forestry techniques. They pioneered them in the 16th century. In fact, since 1800, forest space in Europe has been growing, not shrinking. So industrialisation does not entail reduced forest land, not always bad for the environment. And remember, so much of what environmentalists cherish are in fact man-made. Meadows, hedgerows, moors, the downs, Norfolk Broads, the fens for all that matter, all man-made. None of them are natural. That's enough ranting for one evening. 4 videos in one day, that's a record for me. See you later, YouTube. Bye.